rape in itself as an act is something that is a man's way of establishing power on the woman. I mean, if you really look at it from that perspective, that's when you understand that rape is never just about a physical violation of a body. It's not about, getting into somebody else's personal space. It's about, not taking that no for a no. It is about showing that I have more power than you, which is why I have the right to violate you. And that's what has happened with the doctor over there. In fact, there was this entire, thread of tweets where they were saying that why is the victim's name not being, she's no more. You can't really just put another name for it and say that, justice for Abhaya. She was a person. You cannot just make her another victim. She's no more. She was a person. You can't just, and that's why there was hashtag justice for so and so. And there is that whole other movement over there. And yet, what we see on TV is people ransacking, people going on a complete mob.
Easy, no? That's the easy solution, right? Like a flash of so-called rage. I'm hearing news that it was orchestrated rage and that there was a completely different agenda behind the mob going in there, which was apparently to destroy evidence. I don't know what is truth and falsehood at this juncture. But even then, that kind of flash of fury, it still doesn't solve the point. It doesn't solve the problem, right? Okay, you've been triggered to give an immediate response, an emotional response or whatever. But is that solving the problem? For that, you have to again go back to the structures. You have to again go back to who is responsible in that hospital, who is responsible for the overall setup, who's responsible for these laws that prevent certain accountability structures to come in place. That lady had to sleep in that room. That's what's happened.
That hall. That is a hall.
That's where the accountability point comes in. Her job wasn't to sleep there. Why was she forced to sleep there at that time of the night? It was because somebody else did not do their job. That's when I say accountability matters. She lost her life simply because somebody else did not do what they were meant to do. Somebody else, people in responsible positions, failed to create an infrastructure that would allow her to sleep at a place where she would be safe and where it was an assigned place for that. This kind of ad hoc business, the poor lady went in thinking that she was going to get some rest. We know what happened, right? It wasn't her fault. It was entirely the people who were meant to do what they didn't do. I think that's what I'm saying. Accountability is, for me, again, I'm maybe viewing it from my lens, but for me, that is the person or that is the power center that has to be found, saying you are responsible for this. It is not her. It is not what she was wearing. It is not what, you'll say, okay, that guy was the rapist and came in or whatever. Firstly, how did he get in there? How did he become entrenched in this system? If there were other people involved, whatever, like how did that happen? Ultimately, where does it go back to? Accountability. Who is in charge of this place? They have to be the ones to give the answers on this. She was not meant to sleep there. She was not supposed to even find herself in that situation. The reason she found herself is because somebody else did not do their job. And I think that is the tragedy of this, which is that it is actually on the face of it, if you think about it, for that guy, whoever is responsible for this, it's a banal thing, no? All these doctors, they'll manage. He or she would have thought of it that way. But look at the consequences that have played out, right? It is not banal. Every small decision that we take, especially in positions of power, affects other people, affects large numbers of other people. The greater your power, the greater your responsibility, and therefore the greater your accountability must be. And that, I think, we have to really start holding people to account. And I think that's happening now, with the Bengal government and all of that. Even the rage that people are feeling against the government, it's entirely justified. This government may deliver great prosperity to the people, whatever, like you can deliver all of that. But if you're not going to be accountable when these issues arise, then there's no point to it.